Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Technologist Forum. I'm your host, James Hicks. And we talk about the people, processes, and technology that are making positive strides within consumer and enterprise technology. Today, my guest is a man I would say who needs no introduction because a lot of folks know who he is, especially on YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But Greg Priest, listen, he is an AI and SEO specialist, specifically geared at making sure that video creators focus in on making better videos faster, making videos that have SEO retention, and allowing them to grow and scale their content creation journey. So sit tight. We're going to get into it, y'all. A man who needs no introduction, right? Again, when there is 100,000 folks just about who know you, the man needs no introduction.
What an introduction. I'm flattered. That was incredible, James.
Well, straight into the point, and it's all true. Greg, how you living today, man? You doing all right?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I've had a day with a little bit of content creation, a little bit of client work, and it's getting to the end of the day now. So yeah, it's a
There
nice,
you go. So
nice,
you're
nice day.
wrapping up the day on the Technologist Forum. I won't keep you long because again, it's a different time zone in the UK. It's still nice and early AM for me. But so let's do this, man. I jokingly gave the folks know you already, and I know folks already do. But if you don't mind giving kind of that 35,000 foot level of who Greg Priest is and what it is that you do as it relates to the overall content creator ecosystem.
Sure. Yeah. So I pretty much wear two hats. I've been wearing one hat a lot longer than the other. So the old hat is I'm a YouTube content creator. I've had my own channel now for 6, coming up to 7 years. On that YouTube channel, my main focus really is to help people be consistent with their video content creation. So I typically talk about AI tools and systems that can help video creators save time. The theory there being if they can make videos faster, then they can make more videos overall, and then they can therefore reach more people, get more views, and at the end of the day, do what we're all trying to do, make more money. So that's the old hat. The newer hat, in the last year or two, I've branched out into YouTube strategy work, so
Mhm.
consulting and coaching for people. Typically, in 2024, I'm focusing more on working with those AI businesses. So the businesses that are making tools for video creators, I'm working with those businesses to help them grow their YouTube channel, get more reach, build their reputation among creators, and shine more, get more exposure on their products.
Okay. Was that an organic shift or an organic addition to what it is that you do? Because instead of working with individuals, was it just then folks saw your work, saw the catalog content, and said, now let me bring in Greg to help with the overall organizational piece as opposed to just an individual? Was that something you had already planned on doing kind of on your vision board, or did that just fall into place?
Yeah, so I reached a point where I pretty much had like an existential crisis about 2 years ago.
Let's get into that, man. Don't just drop
That's a
that
big,
right there. Let's talk a little bit about that, right?
that's a big launch pad, isn't it, into
Yeah.
the story? So, I studied my postgraduate degree in business
Mhm.
entrepreneurship. That was my degree. But at the same time, I was a content creator. I was a YouTube, and I was a couple of years into being a YouTuber at that point. By the time I graduated, I was 4 years into being a YouTuber. And after about the fifth year of content creation, I just felt like I wasn't really flexing this muscle or using the
Mhm.
skill set that I was really passionate about, which was entrepreneurship and business. Um, so to kind of minimize and get through that existential crisis, I realized that I needed to feel like I was building a business. Um, I love being a content creator, and I knew that I wanted to keep that at the center of what I do every day, but I wanted to feel like there was some more formal entrepreneurship going on. So that's why I started to build the agency, the YouTube strategy type of work.
Okay.
Working with AI businesses now has been a journey from testing up different business models for the agency, testing out different types of clients, and now I've reached this business model now where I focus exclusively on AI businesses, and I've realized that's kind of the best use of my skills and where my interest kind of is as well.
Okay. And did that AI focus come as a just an evolution of it now being more consumer accessible, right? I point back at these TVs now that it's on the CNNs and the CNBCs of the world, and everyone, we in the technology industry knew about AI for a long time, right? This is new to us, but now that
Sure.
it's become more commonplace, right? With the chat GPTs, the perplexity AIs, the various other platforms, Geminis and things of that nature. Did
Mhm.
it just make sense for you to add that to your wheelhouse because it was becoming more commonplace, or you saw kind of that evolution as it being the next step where again we were talking about SEO rankings, we were talking about a lot of other aspects in analytics, but then AI came in and then just
Mhm.
blew the doors off of everything. Just curious about how you not necessarily fell into AI but chose AI as kind of that place where you're going to lay your hat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, you've definitely tapped into something that definitely happened in the world. AI just blew up, didn't it? And it got the world's attention. It's been around for a long time now, but about 6 months ago, the whole world just kind of got AI swept.
Hmm.
So, long story short, through being a YouTuber for 7 years now, and through learning about business at university and growing my own business for 2 years, on both the content creation side and the business side, I've learned an importance of going towards where the attention is. If you're making videos for a YouTube channel, make videos where people are clearly showing an interest and videos that you know are going to get viewed. If you are building a business, build a product and focus on a type of customer where there's clearly a lot of money flowing through that industry and through that type of customer, and where there's a demand for help in that area. And on both business and content creation side, AI was just ticking both of those boxes. Tons of people were coming to YouTube to learn more about these AI tools that were hitting the scene and blowing up, and tons of AI businesses were popping up and getting a ton of investment and a ton of funding and needing to invest in marketing and YouTube channels and getting their product out there. So it's um it's the result of learning lessons throughout my journey of you can make things a lot easier for yourself if you just look where the attention is and go in that direction. Does that make sense?
Man, that's a ton of sense right there. Look where the attention is. That's going to be cut up into a micro content in about 2 hours. After
Awesome.
that run right there is going to go somewhere. It may not go viral. It might go viral. But what you just said right there was a word. Um, let me ask you this: you talked about workflow, you talked about AI tools and things of that nature, and we can talk about specific tools later. But again,
Sure.
how has AI kind of helped you be more effective in your workflow? Because again, you've put out a ton of videos. I'm looking at almost 600 already on your channel right now, and your evolution and over your time. So shouts out and kudos to you on that. But that takes a lot of prep. That takes a lot of execution. That takes a lot of distribution, right? All of the work that it takes to get those 584 videos out. But then the workflow, since you're teaching folks how to create those videos and do it faster, how has AI kind of helped you do that thing even better?
Mm, yeah. Um, so little correction. I've actually made over, I think I'm coming up to 1,100
Come on,
videos
man.
now.
Correct me. It's all good, brother. I'm just
But
looking at.
no, no, no. On the channel, it says 600, but I've actually removed and delisted about 400 or 500 videos from the channel. So
All right.
I've got a lot of reps, and a lot of that was done before AI was around. It was just consistently showing up every week, sometimes 3 videos a week, sometimes it went up to 6 videos a week, and just like building that skill set. And that's what I'd recommend everyone who wants to learn a new skill, whether it's content creation or whatever it is. You got to show up and you got to be doing that thing consistently.
Love that.
But now, yeah, I use AI to make things easy for myself. I'm using AI mainly to speed up the editing process. That's
Okay.
my like heavy lift. Editing has always been a slow thing for me. I've never like been great at picking up at the shortcuts and the hacks and just making that like a real quick thing. But by using AI, I've probably cut my editing time down by to like a quarter of what it was before now. So yeah, that's a huge time saver. We're talking hours per video that I'm saving from using AI. Outside of that, I might use AI to maybe help me. craft a title for a video. I'll come up with some early ideas myself, put them into ChatGPT, and try and find some alternative suggestions and maybe some words that AI comes back with that were words I didn't think of myself or were better words than what I'd used. And then there's AI also for repurposing videos that I've made and chopping them up and putting them onto other platforms. And we'll speak about specific tools later on. But
I'm not
James
sure
probably
what
knows
you're
what I'm going
talking
to talk
about.
about.
Listen, I'm not sure what the company man is talking about right there with the mauve hoodie. I should have worn mine, but it's okay.
Yeah, the logo's just off screen now, so
That's all right. That's
people
all right. I
keep
love it.
guessing.
So workflow enablement, workflow efficiency. I really like that piece. Now let me bring it back to you again because we're talking about entrepreneurship, talking about businesses and how you're coaching businesses on that aspect.
Mm,
I I would assume, and again, don't want to put words in your mouth, but you look at various tools on a day to day basis. You know, how can X tool help with this? How can Y and Z tool do the exact same thing? And then making recommendations to customers and potential customers. What is kind of your process on that, and how do you feel about? We talk about Opus Clip. What do you feel, and how do you feel about other solutions that do very similar things, and how do you position that to again your clients or to your prospects, your coaching folks and things of
mm.
that nature? What's kind of that process for that piece of your discovery when it comes to talking to customers again as a business, right? So not just as a creator, but how do you
Mm.
position your wares and your offerings to people who are looking for tools? Do you just give them one tool to look at, or do you have kind of like a whole slew of offerings that you recommend people take a look at?
Yeah, well,
This is more
I'm
of
a
a
firm.
selfish question, to be honest, because I'm trying to make sure I'm doing it an effective way as well. So,
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Ask me whatever helps. I've never actually thought about what my process is consciously before. I obviously have a process, so this is a little bit educational for me. In terms of one suggestion versus multiple, I'm a firm believer of as a business owner, as an advisor, I need to make decisions as easy as possible for my customer, for my client.
mm,
So rather than choice can be very overwhelming. I feel like people come to me for suggestions, like this is the best direction for you to go in. So I'm coming to my clients with specific choices that I feel they should be using that's best for them. I'm not expecting them to choose from a spread of different platforms they can use. How am I deciding on what those platforms are? How am I narrowing down those to one choice per use case? It probably comes down to a balance of quality, like how good a quality output does that
mm,
tool
mm-hmm.
produce? And then also price is also obviously a factor as well. You know, if a product is like 90%, if product one is 90% as good as product two, but product one costs $30 a month and product two costs $3,000 a month, I'm going to recommend product one. So
Probably, probably.
yeah, it's a balance between quality and price.
Okay, but I like the
Uh,
fact, and I'm reading that you do some of that due diligence ahead of time, right? And through a discovery call, through a discovery conversation, you put some pieces together and say this is a tool that meets that particular need, as opposed to just blindly saying go use this tool because one, I'm a partner or I'm an affiliate or I get those kinds of things. So I'm setting you up,
mm,
man. I'm on here, you know, pitching for Greg Priest, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
I'm
I,
making
I
sure.
need to. I need to snip
I'm
this video up and put it in my
yeah.
sales process. This
This
is
one
how
right
I
here,
work.
brother. This one right here. All right. So that's good stuff. So I appreciate you on that. Let's talk a little bit about best practices for success, right? As a
Mm,
creator, as a entrepreneur in this creator ecosystem as well. That longevity, the fact that you have taken 600 or so videos down, you still got 584 up right now, and I'm telling you, I'm speaking this into existence. Greg Priest is going to have his plaque before the end of this calendar year, right? You look at me and you smirk every time I tell you that, but I'm speaking it into existence because you so darn close. But keys to success for longevity and keys to success for avoiding quote unquote burnout. I don't like the word burnout. I don't even believe in burnout, but just
mm.
however you continue to evolve and keep doing the thing every single week, every single month, every single year.
Yeah. I've definitely been burnt out throughout the 7 years. It's that's a trap that I've fell into, that I've had to learn through experience how to avoid that trap moving forwards. Uh, but reflecting back on that, I am now so like aware of how important work-life balance is, and not falling into burnout. When you're burnt out, you're running on you're running on fumes. You're not operating at 100%. You're not making the best decisions for you, for your business, for your channel. Your creativity is down to zero. So avoiding burnout is such an important thing for creators, but it's easier said than done. And I think everyone has to go through their own journey to learn how to do that. What was the question? That's my speech on burnout. What was the question again?
You just stopped right at burnout, right? It was more around strategies for and best practices for success for your longevity, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
And avoiding
So
burnout. And so we don't want you to get back to that point again.
cool. Yeah. So piggybacking from avoiding burnout, next strategy for success in content creation, I would say would be think long term. It's really easy to It's easily done to think I'm going to chase really short term immediate trends. It's how can I? There's a new movie out today. I'm going to make a video about that. Or this song's at number one. I'm going to make a video about that. But those songs are only going to be interesting to people for the next week, maybe 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then the next big movie is out, or the next big song's out. So unless you want to just be endlessly chasing trends like every day or every week, I would say think more long term and make videos that stand up to the test of time.
Mm.
Also, I think there's an importance for content creators to think about the audience first versus thinking about themselves first. Where it's important to have joy and passion about what you're making videos about, I think a lot of creators fall down the trap of this interests me, I'm going to make a video about it. And that's just deep into the qualifying process they go with ideas. Like, I'm interested in it, I'm going to make a video. Whereas really, I believe you need to test to see if other people are interested in something
Yes.
before you make that video.
Dude,
You agree?
that's spot on because literally my next question here in my run of show was, creating content for you versus your community.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the way I do it now is I do search research to make
Mm.
sure that like any keywords I'm targeting in my video actually have like people searching for that keyword every month and there is an interest in that topic. And I also am looking at my niche, my competitors or peers, however you want to call it, and seeing what videos they're making that are blowing up. What are their outlier
Hmm.
videos? Because that shows me that there's a massive interest within my niche on that topic. And that's just two of the ways I'm using information and research to guide my video content strategy, versus just kind of firing from the hip and making videos from the gut. I think it's really important.
Yeah, I mean that sets you apart from, again, just the doing this as a side hustle, doing content creation as a for fun, right? The firing from the hip and just making videos because you want. And there's nothing wrong with that, folks. But again, if you want to do that, that's fine. YouTube's free, or
Mm,
whatever platform you can fire up your own website and make videos all day. But when you put that business, that entrepreneur hat on, and you start thinking about all the aspects of running a successful organization, that's when you got to start thinking from a long term perspective, right?
100%.
Go
Yeah.
with the community, don't go with yourself, because the community is what we do this for in and of itself anyway, right? We can make videos all day about, I can make videos about scotch, about about coffee, about all those things, but not everyone wants to hear about that. uh,
Yeah, dude. If we're making videos that we care about and we're not thinking about do other people care about this, then we can't complain if that video just gets one view from yourself because you're the only person that's interested in that topic. So
Greg Priest is
I'm
talking, y'all listening, right?
I'm fully for people that want to use YouTube as a creative outlet and just a passion project, and they don't care about the views. 100%. Like, I admire that, and I completely recognize you as, um, your own type of person. But people that want to take content creation seriously and grow it into an income stream and a business, they need to be led by the market and what the audience is telling them they want to see.
Love that. I love that. So going with trends, going with where the market is, going with the longevity perspective, that's brought you into the AI world. You said you're using it for workflow improvements. Yeah, you're right. Editing has always been also the bane of my existence.
Mm.
I, Me and DaVinci get along okay. Me and Final Cut get along okay, but still, man, it, I'm always looking for ways to limit the cycles in the workflow as well. And if I can cut out 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour of any cycle, my gosh, I'm just take
Sign
my
me up.
wallet, dude. Just
Yeah.
take my wallet so I can do that. Um, we met through a generative AI platform that's doing the repurposing. So let's talk a little bit about that because
Mhm.
that really is exploding, right? That whole industry, generative AI, especially for creators, and cutting it up into those 30, 60, 90-second bite-sized consumable bits of content, that's not going away and it's continuing to evolve. Talk to us a little bit about how you're using various technologies in that space to do what you do better, faster, and more effectively.
Sure. Well, let's start with this tool right here, Opus Clip, who James and I are both very familiar with. So, Opus Clip is an AI tool which takes a long video and it uses AI to instantly chop that video up into short clips. Whether it's taking a podcast and cutting it up into like 3 5 minute clips, or whether it's taking a YouTube video and cutting it up from a horizontal 10-minute YouTube video to a vertical 60-second YouTube short. The way it works is you just feed in the YouTube video URL into the AI and it does the rest. It finds the key moments, it jumps between the person of interest, whoever's talking at any particular moment. It makes sure that their face is in the shot, and it adds captions, it adds B-roll on top of the person speaking and on top of the narration, and it just does everything you need to create these short form videos, but it does it in one click. I think I made the comparison when I was doing it with my podcast to make the 10 shorts from my podcast that Opus Clip did for me in, let's say, 20 minutes. Once I'd gone in and made all the small tweaks that I needed to, 20 minutes to get 10 shorts from Opus Clip versus that would have taken me 6 7 hours to do it myself in my own editing software. So such a time saver there.
And again, that's what it's all about, right? Being able, your time to market speaks is equal to time to value as well, right? Again, business terms as opposed to, again, those are doing it for a side hustle. That's all good. That's fine. But listen, we out here looking for revenue. We're out here wanting to make sure that we get the invoices and the direct deposits and things of that nature, and tools that allow you to do that. It's so, I don't want to say it's so simple and easy, but it's so effective now compared to, again, I'm an old school guy, right? I remember building sites using HTML and Dreamweaver and Netscape. Okay, I'm dating myself, I know, but I'm saying it. Technology has definitely gotten to a point now that where it's accessible to everyone,
Mhm.
and the ability to be professional looking to actually put out a quality piece of content that resonates with that community. There's really no excuse. I guess that's what I
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah, it's
Um,
so easier to be a content creator now than it was even just 7 years ago when I started.
right. So where are you? So with that evolution and with now again it being so easy, you essentially you could be on every single platform. You could
Mhm.
be on YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat. That's where the kids are, right? I think the kids are on
I've heard,
Snapchat.
so I'm told.
I don't know, right? You can be on Facebook, or as the older folks say, the seasoned folks, the Facebook. You
Yeah.
can, you can be anywhere and everywhere at all times. Where do you hone your wares? Where do you live? Where is Greg Priest's kind of foundation?
100%. I am a huge believer of focusing on one platform and becoming a master of that platform. I think if we try to be everywhere, we never really understand any of those platforms to a
Yep.
master level. So we never really get any proper traction on any of them. So there's a ton of clues that I've dropped throughout this chat. I'm a YouTube fanboy through and through. I've been on YouTube for 7 years, so that is my bread and butter, my main focus. A couple of years ago, when I split out and I started building the business side of things too, I also decided that I probably should be giving LinkedIn some
Hmm.
consideration and some time. So I split my time now between YouTube and LinkedIn. But those 5 years previously, where I was just focusing on YouTube, really took me to the level where I'm like above 99% of other people's understanding with YouTube. And because I reached that level, I then felt comfortable splitting my attention and looking at a separate platform. But before you have really got to that point where you are miles ahead of everyone else on any single platform, I think you should just be focusing on that one platform to really become a master.
See, that was a softball question, man. I knew the answer, but again, it's
Yeah,
for the folks.
you set me up.
I'm trying to set you up, but I just want you to remember me, right? When you, I don't know, go on vacation somewhere fancy and you need someone to carry your bag. Remember the guy who set you up.
So when I finally hit that 100,000 subscribers that you've
Dude,
been reminding
I'm
me about for the
probably
last 5 months.
I'm tracking it as probably as close as you are, because when I saw it earlier, I was like, listen, Greg is about to we about to celebrate, and in the Opus Clip brand partner meetings that we have weekly, I'm like looking at
Yeah.
it every single time. I'm saying, oh, Greg is getting closer. We
Do you know what it is? I had some huge heavy hitter videos from the early days of YouTube that
Hmm,
would get me like hundreds of subscribers a day. And then I just realized, and I made a decision that I didn't really want to be making that content anymore, that type of content, and I didn't want to be associated with it. So I took it down. So my heavy hitters in terms of subscriber winning videos got taken down, and the videos that are remaining, where I love them, and I think there's a ton of potential, especially with the niche I'm focusing on now, AI, and I think they will pick up over time. Currently, the channel is growing at a snail's pace compared to what it used to, and it's just like, come on, one day I'll get over 100,000 subscribers. One day.
man, that's very introspective for me as well, because I had a significant, substantial hockey stick growth when I was doing financial content, right?
Mm,
OTC markets, pink sheets, and early stage companies. My Twitter community grew significantly, and I still maintain that. But my YouTube channel as well had significance around that. But that didn't move the needle for me as well. So kind of very similar to you, right? Yeah, we make the content for the community, but if I'm not into it, if I can't do my
mm,
jazz hands, and if I can't get excited about having that conversation, then I'm gonna pivot and I'm gonna move and see where it goes.
for
Now
sure.
I'm more engaged and I'm more in tune with this business of technology conversation, which is what the channel is focused on now, and it's picking back up. But I fell in the same boat as you, right? Doing that, but it wasn't me, and I don't have a great poker face, so I couldn't fake it the whole the whole time. So
For sure. Yeah,
man,
you have to have, it's like that Venn diagram, isn't it? It's like what people want and what you enjoy doing, and you have to be at that point where they meet in the middle.
man,
And if you're just doing something because that's what people want, but you don't enjoy it, it's not sustainable. And I think that's what leads a lot of people actually to burnout, is because they're doing something they don't enjoy and they haven't got that like inner drive and motivation to just keep jumping into it feet first because they're not passionate about it.
that's it, man. Try to keep up with the Joneses or the Priestes.
Mm.
Do your
Or the
own thing,
Hicks.
man. I'm listen. I'm dropping them, brother. Listen, you guys. I'm gonna expect to see some of these clips tomorrow, because I'm gonna let you go to sleep here in a little bit. But let me ask you this final question, kind of in terms of where you see the economy going from the content creator ecosystem, the content creator economy. Where do you see it going more short and midterm? Because we can't
Mm.
foresee what's going to happen a year out. So I'm thinking next 3 to 6 to 9 months. Where do you see kind of the evolution of folks already in the ecosystem, in the economy, versus folks that are coming in as well? More adoption of AI, more tools,
Mm.
more technologies. Just your thoughts, if you have thought about that, where we're going.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I don't label myself as a creator economy specialist at all. It's I've always kind of like, I don't know, that label was kind of scared me a little bit. I think it's the word economy. I understand content creation, but the economy side of it, I'm not so clued up on. What I can say from the creator side is I believe interest in creators and people wanting to be creators is just going to continue to increase. I think I saw a report this week that for the first time ever, the amount of people watching YouTube on their TVs was higher than the amount of people watching Netflix on their TVs within the last month. So that's a trend that is going to continue. More and more people are watching YouTube more than traditional TV and now even streaming television. So the amount of business interest that's going to come into creators, whether it's businesses want to advertise on creator videos or businesses making products for creators, I think it's inevitable that that's going to keep increasing as the attention is going into that space. So yeah, long story short, layman's answer, I think there's going to be more money pouring into the space, at least for the last year. We've also got the AI, like, is it a bubble? Isn't it a bubble? I don't know, but a ton of investment funds and people are putting money into AI space. So it's a really good time to be in this space, if you ask me.
I love that. I love that. And listen, we're not in this business we're not ready to retire. We all still have the energy, and I know you got it because you still got some things to check off to do. And talking to
Dude,
folks that, what was that?
I'm 34. I still got a long time ahead of me. I'm 30, 40 more
See,
years at
okay.
least. I'm
Now we're
thinking.
talking age. I don't want to drop in my age because then I'll just feel bad.
Well,
You,
yeah. I was just saying, don't write me off yet. I'm still keen. I'm in it for the long run.
yeah, youngster out there. I'm talking HTML and Dreamweaver and Netscape. You weren't okay. You weren't even around back in the CompuServe days. Oh my gosh. See, I can't talk to you young cats. No,
I
Greg,
mean,
you're doing
I
the
used
good
to
work,
code.
man. No,
I
okay.
used
See,
to
no,
code. You
don't try
call
to
me
make me
involved, but I
feel.
used to code. I used to
Don't
code.
do that. I'm gonna cut this out of the
Okay,
video
okay.
before it's officially published. I'm cutting this out. I want to say, man, again, you're doing a good work, and I wanted to give you those
Thanks,
flowers.
man.
And as you know, and folks, I seriously, I do every time I see or talk or around Greg, I'm looking at his stats, and I'm his biggest cheerleader because I know it's going to
Appreciate
happen,
it.
and when it happens, that's not what drives him. I know that, but again, that's that recognition, that piece just not necessarily validates, but again, it shows that there's good work happening and folks are recognizing it. So want him to have those flowers that he can physically mount on his wall and actually say, I'm out here doing good work and people are recognizing it. So I'm looking forward to that happening. Where is the
Yeah.
best place for people to get in contact with you should they want to?
For sure. If you are a creator looking to save time in video production or even just use AI to kind of improve your videos and add things into them quickly that would have taken you a long time before, so improve the quality of your videos, check me out on YouTube, Greg Priest. And if you are a business needing help with your YouTube strategy, check me out on LinkedIn, Greg Priest. Hopefully, James can put links to those around this video wherever
Maybe
it's public.
I've done this before once or twice, so we'll figure something out.
Yeah, you know how it works.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Greg Priest. Y'all know me. Hey, appreciate you again for joining us for the Technologist Forum. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. And Greg, I will definitely have you on again next time, sir. Appreciate you.
100%. Thanks, man.